So how do you wholesale houses nationwide? And most importantly, how to find buyers for houses in a market that you have absolutely no knowledge about. You have no resources. You have never talked to a single human being in that market. But now you put a property in a contract and now you got to go find a buyer within 3 to 4 days. So that way they say, yes, I want to buy this house. You put it together, and then now you've made some money as an assignment fee. Well, that's a question I get very often, and I'm going to answer that question in today's video because I'm going to walk you through an exact deal that we just did. I'm going to show you how we found the buyer, but most importantly, I'm actually going to have you listen in to the phone conversation of the buyer, so then you could see exactly what we told them, how the deal went down, and all the ninja secret tactics that we use in order to get the buyers to say yes. I know it sounds crazy, but why don't we just go ahead and go right to it right now. First of all, let's talk about the deal. This was a deal located in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, this particular deal, let's take a look at it here. If we look at, in case you are geographically challenged in any capacity, this here is Jacksonville, Florida. It's near the northern part of the state. And this particular deal, although we deal with lots of small towns in many different areas throughout the country, this one happened to be from a very populated area, and it was located in Jacksonville, Florida. We got this lead through Facebook ads for motivated sellers, which is our favorite way to go out and find deals right now. And it was a nationwide campaign. So we targeted the entire US of A. And we got a deal right in our backyard here. In fact, this was actually a deal that came in through one of our partners where we set up the ads and we helped them run the ads, and then we help analyze the deals and eventually help them sell the deals. And that's what this deal came from. Now, this particular deal, let's look at the details on Zillow. This was located, this is a 3-1, 988 square feet. And this particular property was a candidate for a rental property. So we're looking for a rental, somebody who's going to buy it as a landlord. Now, this is not going to be a fix and flip person because the value is 104. We picked it up. I forgot how, I'll share with you in a minute there, but we picked it up around the 70s. So it wasn't that big of a spread. So we were looking for a rental buyer. Now, what we did is we ended up listing the property in Investor Lift. Now, Investor Lift is our favorite way to sell deals. Investor Lift is a platform where all the buyers from all across the country are in this database and they're actively looking for deals. But here's the thing. They have revamped their entire system where now they have AI integrated into the whole equation, which means that then now it makes it easier to sell the properties. On average, with their new AI system, they're getting 14 times more offers for properties and at an average of $5,000 greater assignment fees. So this thing is a game changer. Now, we went ahead and listed the property in Investor Lift. We sent out what's called an AI blast. And here's the neat thing about the AI blast. We don't want to send out properties to 10,000 people. It might sound like a good idea, but wait till your phone starts to ring with a bunch of people that are just tire kickers. They're not interested buyers, and it's just going to flood you with a lot of nonsense in terms of work, but nothing with regards to getting a deal done. With this system, what it does is it actually goes out through their database and identifies the buyers that are most likely to be wanting your property. And so they do that because the buyers are already in the platform and they're looking for deals in this particular area. So I don't know the inner workings of the AI, but in general, this particular campaign went out and looked at every single interaction that was happening for properties in that area in Jacksonville, Florida, compiled those people to only 228 people, considering that there's millions of people in their database. And then now sent a text blast. We sent a text blast to those individuals. Now, when we send a text out to those individuals, we get a high click-through rate, 40% click-through rate, with people saying, yes, I see the text, I'm interested, and they click on the link. Now, what happens next? We now start to get offers and inquiries from legitimate real-life buyers that just received their text, go through the photos that we have on the listing, and then reach out with a cash offer. Wouldn't it be great if this was exactly what was happening with you, that you could put a property in the contract, and then within an hour or two, all of a sudden, you have offers. So and it's fast, right? Because you don't want to prolong trying to sell the property. You don't want to spend weeks trying to sell a deal. You want to get the deal, sell it quick, put on the contract, get it over to title, get it in progress to close, and then now you work on getting another deal on the contract. Time is money. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this little green thing that says AI, that means that buyer came in from an AI campaign. So we can always identify which one were those buyers. So we want to hyper target on those buyers because the platform has identified them being hyperactive in the platform. And it's through a system that they call Artemis mode. So we actually ended up calling all the buyers, of course, that made us offers, that raised their hands and said, yes, I'm interested in buying the property, And then now I'm going to actually reveal to you so you can hear the actual call to the one that actually bought the deal. Hey, if you want to learn how to take any deal all across the country and be able to find a buyer quickly, then you got to attend Dispo Day by Investor Lift. It's a weekly call that they have specifically on helping you find buyers. And they actually peel behind the curtains and show you exactly how this whole system works. And you might have an opportunity to present one of your deals, and right there on the spot, they'll find a buyer for you. So go ahead and click the link in the first comment and register for that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and listen to the call together, and I'm going to pause as I critique the call and give you my thoughts and opinions in terms of how the call went down and the different nuances of the buyer call.
Hey, Dave, this is Dave with National Property Buyer. I just was responding to the offer you sent us on this property we've got in Jacksonville.
All right, so Dave, just so FYI, Dave is on our National Property Buyer team. He deals with disposition and acquisitions, but mostly a lot of disposition for our clients where they put the properties on the contract and then we go ahead and sell them. And so that's why you hear the name Dave and not Chico.
Yes, hi, how are you? Where is the house? It's in downtown?
Did you get the address of it? I'm guessing if you made an offer, right?
Yeah, 629 West 46.
Yeah, so the buyer saw the listing, went through all the photos, and then went ahead and made an offer sight unseen. And so he's asking about the location of the property.
That's that's downtown, right?
I'm not in Florida. I'm in, my number's a Florida number, but we do nationwide, and that's in Chicago. I'm in Chicago, but...
oh, boy, so you're freezing away.
It's not too cold today. But yeah, recently, yes.
So Dave is in Chicago, Illinois. Properties in Jacksonville. I doubt that Dave has ever stepped foot inside of Jacksonville, at least not willingly. I mean, who goes to Jacksonville, Florida? I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh my God, Jacksonville is wonderful. Okay, yeah.
But last week was terrible. I'm in New York as well.
Oh, yeah. So are you looking for a rental or flip in this opportunity?
Yeah, I fix it up and I rental.
Yeah, it's a good rental. It's a better rental than a flip, in my opinion.
So this is important because when marketing this property, we knew that the ideal buyer was going to be somebody who's going to buy it as a landlord. And so that's a great question to ask up front just to see where the buyer's at. Because if the buyer said, hey, yeah, I'm looking to make a flip and I normally make $30K on the deal, blah, 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 then, we want to make sure that is this the right property for them? Because at the end of the day, we want to be able to sell somebody a property that they're going to be able to do with it what their intended purpose is. Just from a standpoint of good customer service and to be able to have a buyer that we can sell to, again, if we have a deal in that area.
Do you have other homes in that area?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
So that question, do you have other homes in the area, are we establishing whether or not he is just somebody to buy a rental for the first time or he's an experienced person that has multiple rentals, and so therefore that's a plus if he does, which he does have.
And when you buy, David, are you buying with cash or with...
Cash, yeah. Cash.
So here's the deal. We've got it out right now, and we just put it out yesterday at 93. I appreciate your offer at 78. That's going to be lower than where we can go. Is there a reason why you're at that number? I mean, have you run your comps?
So this is good because... the buyer's always going to make first of all, these are the Artemis buyers, so they're interested. And there's a couple other things that happened during the call that obviously are signals to know that, hey, this guy is definitely somebody who's hot to buy a property. And that's why these buyers are really important with the Artemis mode, is because of the fact that they were already in the platform looking for stuff. And all of a sudden our deal is sent to them and they're like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I was looking for. But again, we're establishing what Dave is doing is trying to figure out, instead of going to the buyer and saying, oh, no, we can't do that. Then if they make a low offer, understand, okay, well, why is it that they made such a low offer? And so that's what Dave is asking.
The reason is the rates. If the rates just don't cover the rental. I mean, I'll get $1,800 Section 8, $1,400 private market. So put it between $1,400 and $1,407. It's about $1,400 rent. So I figure with closing and taxes and everything, I don't. That's why and all cash.
The thing is that when you're looking, are you?
Obviously, the guy knows what he's doing because he's in his mind. He already knows like what the numbers need to be in order to be a good rental for him. So this is a good sign.
Trying to hit a specific cap rate or
looking for like a 10 cap, but then cap. But the problem is the mortgage. So that's the numbers I'm looking for. But could be the numbers. Is there? You got to get a little more on it, huh?
We don't have a big spread on this one. I will tell you that to rent it out.
You want what do you want? You want 80 Muhammad? What is you asking again?
We're asking 93. I have a little flexibility, but
so what do you have flexibility?
Yeah, I mean, would you be able to maybe hit us at 89? I think I can get that approved at 89. But again, we just put it out, so we've got some interest on it.
So, let me. Is there a lockbox on it? Right.
So a couple of things. Number one is that Dave is saying, hey, maybe I can get that number approved. So now he's working the higher authority thing, which is fine. And then he also very casually put in there like, oh, listen, we just put this out. We got a lot of activity on it. And so Dave is acting like a very reluctant, kind of, very laissez-faire. Oh, we have so many people. If you don't want it, we'll give it to somebody else. But maybe I can get it approved for you, that sort of thing. But again, he's not coming across very hard, like, what are you, crazy? I got so many offers. Make me an offer. Give me this. Like, I'm not saying you would do that, but I'm saying you have to have a nice, pleasant demeanor with these people, right? Especially the buyers.
No,
I would have to arrange to get you inside the property.
Is somebody living there now?
Yeah, they're currently in their property right now.
And they're going to be out of the property?
They'll be out by closing.
Okay. All right. So 89. Okay. Monday. Is Monday a good day for me to go look at it?
Yeah. Are you flying all the way from New York to go see it, or you got somebody?
I am. I'm gonna be Monday. I want to be there Monday.
Okay. Yeah. You know what, David?
You want to check?
Let me do that. Let me check with that. It should not be a problem. And have you worked with wholesalers before?
Yes, I have.
First of all, there's urgency. This is key. I mentioned that before. We want buyers that have urgency. They're looking now. So the difference is, let's say if you call a buyer, I realize that now I have this. Hopefully I wasn't doing that with the other ones. There's urgency here. Sometimes when you call buyer off the public records, they may have bought a deal, but they're not really looking because they have another deal that they're rehabbing, and so they got to wait till that one is done. The benefit to buyers like this that we got through the system is that they're hyper. Like they were on the platform already looking. So they're ready to buy now, and you can tell that here, the fact that he's ready to come down. Also, Dave asked the question, have you dealt with wholesalers? And he said yes, and that's a good thing.
Perfect. Okay, great.
So I know not to talk about anything. I know the whole spiel.
Nice. Okay, good. All right, let me get,
A question people ask me is, Chico, how do we know if the buyer's not going to go around? Well, this is the type of buyer you want. You want a buyer that knows how to deal with wholesalers, that is once a deal. He doesn't want to mess anything up, and he is a serious buyer. You get those, you don't have a problem.
Your name here, I got your offer right there. So, and by the way, I just downloaded your proof of funds. It looks like it was a screenshot, but it doesn't really show me anything other than like deductions coming down. So ultimately, if you can just send me, the proof of funds where.
So send me an email address because I don't know how to download them from that. Send me an email address.
You got
I'll
it.
send you
You
my
got
proof
it.
of funds. Okay.
You got it. Let me just make sure I've got the correct email here for you. All right, let me send you my information. And you saw the pictures of the property. Like I said, it doesn't need a lot of work for it to be stabilized to be rented. So I think you might be surprised with that. If you were to flip it, it needs a little bit more work, and I think the margins are lower.
First of all, the buyer had no issues with providing proof of funds. That's a great sign. And the buyer saw the photos already on the website, so we know that he's not going in blind. He knows what he's getting into. So that's a key thing.
For sure. Let me go ahead, David, and let me go ahead.
Let me see what was it. David?
More work, and I think the margins are lower. So for sure, let me go ahead.
I think what Dave's approach is if you think about it, it's a consultative approach. He's trying to figure out what the buyer wants, trying to make sure that the property matches what the buyer's needs are. And also at the same time, we don't want to waste time. The buyer, if we make the effort to get the buyer in there and then we find out that he was looking at it for a different purpose and it's not going to fit for that purpose, and all of a sudden now we wasted everybody's time. We want to try to avoid that.
David, and I'll see if we can, what time on, you said Monday.
4 o'clock, yeah.
3 or 4. Okay, and we'll get the logistics worked out for you, okay?
Yes.
All right, David.
What was he said? Yeah.
3 or 4. Okay, you got it. I'll send you my email so you can send the proof of funds. I'll get that set up, and we'll get the logistics worked out for you, okay?
Yes.
All right, David. Take care. We'll talk to you. Thank you. Bye.
So that was a relatively short interaction. Right now, it was 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I mean, that's the kind of interaction that you want. You want a serious buyer. He's ready to go. You talk details. He understands the situation. It's a reasonable price. And he's like, okay, let me take a look at it and let's see. And we vetted him. We know he knows how to, he's working with wholesalers before. He owns properties in that area. He's able to provide proof of funds. This is the ideal conversation. These are the type of buyers you want. And so it's really important that you work with these type of buyers. So we had no buyers for this particular deal in this area. We had no footprint, but yet we sent out an AI auto blast, and within minutes we had qualified buyers coming in, making offers. We were talking to them, identified one that was ready to go, and now we're moving forward with getting that property shown. That's how it needs to be. That's the easiest way to do this business. Here's the deal. If you want us to see this system in action again live, there is, and you want to get a shot at actually bringing a deal of your own and being able to have it be shopped right there on the live, then you need to go to Dispo Day. Dispo Day is a webinar, free live webinar that happens every Wednesday. And I'm going to direct you to the page. I think it's 1 p.m. Central Time, but go ahead and confirm that when you go to the page. I'm going to put the link in the first comment. All right, link in the first comment. And this is where the Investor Lift team will show you how the AI works. And at the same time, though, they'll say, hey, anybody have a deal? And then you can submit your deal, and then you could potentially get your deal sold right there on the spot. So you're going to head over to dispoday.com, DISPO day.com. Click the link in the description, not the description, but the link in the first comment. And then now you're going to be able to see the power of this AI tool for yourself. And it just might be the thing that takes your real estate investing business to the next level. And also opens the door for you when it comes to doing deals nationwide and being able to find the buyers nationwide. So go to dispoday.com and maybe you might get your deal sold there too as well.